word Ile-Ife came from Uhe. Now, this terminology, Ile-Ife, is a corrupted word. Is a corrupted function of Uhe. The present-day Ile-Ife in Osun State emerged, that word emerged from Uhe. But they are certainly not the same location. I quoted from Professor Obayemi. Let me refresh our minds again exactly what he said so that we can get a clue. Page 5, where he said that he queried. He said, a great deal of these have been passed for actual history and have been believed, and a lot, if not all, that Ile-Ife has owned to other local cultural subgroups and dialect groups and centers are usually ignored. So, the aborigines of Ile-Ife ignored the spirituality, the princely attribute, the royal attribute that Oduduwa, our son Ikaladera, brought from Uhe. So that means the route of Ikaladera leaving Benin was actually from Benin to Uhe, and from Uhe to Ile-Ife. It is the corruption of Uhe that became Ile-Ife. So Ile-Ife couldn't have been Uhe. Uhe is 100% distinguished from Ile-Ife. Now, I'm going to read another excerpt. Just a minute. There's an excerpt of a work that was done by, I'm going to read the Kingdoms, Olugbo of Ugbo and Oni of Ife, a controversy of manipulation of history or a fact from antiquity. Written by Bababo Ikomonison. Look at what he wrote. Evidence from the Ikedu traditions as analyzed by Akinjogmi shows that the process of the development of the various kingdoms and the evolution of political institutions and government in Yoruba land in general first began in Ife area. There, a centralized state emerged sometime in the first millennium in BC. Historically, the title of the earliest inhabitants of Ife, who were the Ilajes, Ugbo, was Obalufe, Olugbo, or Ogane. I will take it again. Historically, the title of the earliest inhabitants of Ife, who were the Ilajes, Ugbo, was Obalufe. That is saying that Olugbo or Ogane. It can therefore be said that both the titles and indigenous dialect were suppressed by Oduduwa and his group, but the remnant of these early institutions were preserved in the Ikedu tradition. He went forth to say that it must, however, be stressed that Ogane and Oni are two different titles with different historical background. I'm going to take that again. It must, however, be stressed that Ogane and Oni are two different titles with different historical backgrounds. During the British punitive expedition of Benin in 1897, early European writers visiting Benin and other parts of West Africa did not refer to Oni, instead Ogane. For instance, the report received from Benin by early Portuguese travelers, as published by Pereira in 1937, acknowledged a sovereign named Ogane, to whom Oba Benin sent a message on his enthronement. This Ogane is of antiquity, while Oni of Ife is a title adopted after the Oduduwa take over some of the names and all that. Now, what this brilliant mind from the Yoruba headstart has said is that the word Ogane, which were the earliest titles of some of the inhabitants of Ile-Ife, that Ile-Ife is referring to is not the present Ile-Ife in Osun State. But however, it was the Ile-Ife the Benin's called Uhe in Kogi State. And the title at which the chief priest of that land was known as was Ogane. And it is that Ogane that the Obas of Benin or the Ogisos of Benin pay tribute to. It is from the spirituality of Ogane that Ile-Ife, the present Ile-Ife of Southwest was established. So the present Ile-Ife, I'm not saying that, I have my argument, the viewer should understand. I'm not saying that Ile-Ife emerged from Uhe. I have not said that. The viewers should understand what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that Ile-Ife came, the Ile-Ife of the Osun State or the present-day Southwest came from Uhe in Kogi, in present-day Kogi State area. I haven't said that. I said the word, there was a word that land was known, the present-day Ile-Ife in Osun State. They had a word that land was known. It was until Oduduwa, our son, the Kaladeran, came from Uhe, that land became known as Ile-Ife. Ile-Ife. Now, Ile-Ife is the Yoruba version of its original meaning, Uhe. And it is a Kaladeran that brought the spirituality of Uhe in present-day Kogi areas down to Ile-Ife. And it was not the Ile-Ife of the present-day Yoruba land that the Obas of Benin paid tribute to. It was the original Uhe that the Obas of Benin, or even the Ogisos of Benin, paid tribute to on their sections, according to the European facts that were established. So, there's a part I need to quickly also establish. The age of Ojonwe in Great Benin, version 2. Relationship with Uhe, page 17. Look at what Professor O.S.B. Omorige said. He said, after the weird days of Isonoro, Uhe, which had been only a rallying center during those days, became also a dispersal center, especially for those who migrated to various parts of the post-Isonoro New Earth for settlement and expansion. As they moved out, two things took place. They took with them some of the Uduwa shrine as a spiritual backup, so they could have a medium for communication with Ogane, the Almighty God, according as they would have the need for guidance, provision, and protection. After the declaration of Idu land, all those who came into the territory were under the sway of Idu party and the god of Idu land, Eimidu, born by it. The establishment of Eimidu, which subsequently continued to be accorded the traditional Uduwa reference, was rooted in this development. So what O.S.B. Erayoa is saying is that after O.S.B. Omorige is saying, in essence, that you must get this part very correct, is that he's saying that Eimidu that was later established in Edo land, it's a reference, is to revile, that's the right word, is to revile the original shrine that the same Idu established in Uhe. So it is like more of like a replica shrine. So the Eimidu is a replica that was established in Edo land. It's a replica of the Ogane shrine that was established in Uhe. So that's what Omoyege has just outlined. He said the establishment of Eimidu, which subsequently continued to be accorded the traditional Uduwa reference, was rooted in this development. The other thing that took place was that in spite of the dispersal, there was a continued preservation of the purity and sanctity of the Uduwa shrine, so that the integrity and power of it as a home of God, Ogane's altar, would in all circumstances remain undiminished. It was this aspect that preserved in Oduduwa of Uhe the image of the potentate of the interior. The Portuguese discovered this situation as still existing in the 15th century. They said that it was a power behind the imperial exploits of Great Benin. So that means the Great Benin drew spiritual and physical bearing from their more of like their spiritual source, which is Uhe. The Portuguese, the effort to preserve the purity and sanctity of the shrine was still maintained, even when in the face of the 17th century disruptive event of Odomoemu Atlantic slave trade. The keepers of the shrine were compelled to disappear with it secretly to a new location not immediately disclosed. However, I think I will have to talk about the new location in some other subsequent. But what we must understand, is what Omoege has established. Okay, what Omoege has established, that the Europeans that came, we gave them an explanation that the Oba of Benin drew power from the growth, which they refer to the great potentate of the interior, the Ogane, beside the great waters. The great waters is Ohimi, River Niger. So River Niger couldn't have been Ile-Ife. I've been able to prove that it couldn't have been Ile-Ife. Ile-Ife drew what it is presently, the peculiarity or the emblem of greatness that Ile-Ife has today was drew from Uhe, the original version of what Ile-Ife could be now. Now, I've been able to establish that Ile-Ife was different because the Benins were already going on the pilgrimage centers to Uhe even before the first Ogisho Igodo. So there is not a matter of whether Uhe could have been Ile-Ife. But the point is that why did the Obas of Benin pay tribute to this great potentate, this Ogane and Uhe? Now, the reason is very simple. I have explained at the beginning of the video that the founder of that shrine was given the title Ogane and Uhe was Idu, Pa Idu, the progenitor of the Edo race. He founded that shrine. He died there. It is a replica of the shrine that was established by Pa Idu in Uhe that is now called Eimidu in Benin. But however, in order for the Edo people to maintain the purity and the sanctity of the original version of Eimidu, which is Ogane and Uhe, was to continually, annually pay pilgrimage to this place, to be in connivance, to be, it's just like if the modern day Christians, and to draw this connection, it's just like the modern day Christians, if they want to draw connection to God, they go to Jerusalem. All right. So the Benins traveled there to draw connection to the God, their provider, which is Ogane. And that was why the Obas of Benin also drew their powers from, because it is the first shrine that was established, that revered, how do I put it, that stamps the existence of the Edo people. That is why the Obas of Benin, until Obaiwai I, drew connections, drew power from that shrine, Ogane and Uhe. So, in other words, it's not as if the Obas of Benin were paying tribute to another king. The person they were paying tribute was not the king, was the chief priest of the Ogane shrine, which was established by Pa Idu. So, when you say that the Obas of Benin are Ogane and Uhe, it is not Oni. Oni was never, I read from that excerpt from the Yoruba scholar that the word Ogane, the word Oni came post Oduduwa. Oni was a title. Oni was a title. It's post Oduduwa. All right. Oni came after Oduduwa came to Ife from Uhe. But Ogane has been existing as a title for more than 2,000-3,000 years before Oduduwa came to Ife and before the word Oni came to be known. These are some of the facts that we must pay attention to, and these are some of the facts we must pay so much importance to. So that at the end of today we will know that Uhe, Ogane and Uhe, one of the appellations of the Oba Benin, is not referring to Oni. Oni, the word Oni is just yesterday. Ogane has been existing thousands of years before the word Oni. So there couldn't have been, the appellation couldn't have been referring to the chief priest in Ile-Ife rather than the founder, which is Pa Idu, who became the first chief priest, who became the first Ogane Nuhe of Uhe. And that Uhe is believed to be in present day Kogi area. Now, you must listen to some songs. There are some songs that were that were chronicled, the Ogiso chroniclers called Uworon. There's a song that was composed, and it is one of those ancient songs of the ancient times in Edo land, chronicled by the Uworon. This is how they sing the song. Otefa, ote emehi, osaya we wema. Otefa, otemehi, osaya wema. Neimi duran la, osaya wema. Kuhe yasokun, osaya wema. Not John Weruela, osaya wema. Kore yasore. That is from generation. Ore means generation. Kore yasore, osaya wema. Otefa, otemei, osaya wema. For those who do not understand that Benin, translated as Efa land, Emehi land. Efa and Emehi were the two surviving sons. Paido had 3 sons, Aka, Efa, and Emehi. Aka died along the way. It was Efa and Emehi that eventually got to Benin, precisely Ogboka Plains of the present-day Sokbomba areas. All right. So this song is chronicling those ancient, the sons of the progenitors, likened to even be the progenitors. Efa land, Emehi land, God blessed us with it. Efa land, Emehi land, God blessed us with it. For Eimidu to spread, God's blessed us with it. From Uhe land to the sea, God blessed us with it. For John Way to rule, God's blessed us with it. From generation to generation, God blessed us with it. Efa land, Emehi land, God blessed us with it. This one also. Now, if you see the era this song was composed, for Ojon Way to rule, this was a pre-Ogiso era songs. The time where the Ojon Ways were ruling, we're practicing a more of like a gerontocratic rule, the pre-Ogiso eras, and it is believed that there were 31 Ojon Ways and there were 31 Ogisos. Now these songs were composed, and at the time this song was composed, it was already part of our knowledge that Uhe land, from Uhe land to the sea, it was already part of our knowledge that Uhe is part of us as a people. It was already part of our knowledge that Eimidu, which is an idea that came from us living Uhe land, was also part of our people. So I can go on and on. I give hundreds of facts. I can go on and on to try and tell the viewers that I feel that a conspiracy was done against our history. For whatever reasons, I don't care. But all I know, all I am convinced of, from even the Yoruba perspective, even one of the foremost Yoruba historian, Professor Akinjogbe, has questioned the authenticity of the present-day Ile-Ife. He said, he asked rhetorically, he said, how many Ile-Ifes? So there have been several existences of Ile-Ifes. So we must understand that Uhe land is extremely different from Ile-Ife. So when we say Ogane and Uhe, we are referring to the very beginning of our history, which the Obas of Benin are chronicled to be in the long lines of these great kings. And we must know, in conclusion, that when a Caladeran left Benin, he did not go to the present-day Ile-Ife in Southwest. He went first to Uhe, where he spent some time. It is even believed by the Gala history, asserted by Professor O.S.B. Omorige, that he even became an Ogane of Uhe before he left to Ile-Ife. It is the ideas that he took from Uhe that was used in the formation of the spirituality of the royalty that now abounds in Ile-Ife. And it is in that light that every Obas of Benin are referred to Ogane and Uhe. The Uhe, like I have convinced, like I have stressed, is not the present-day Ile-Ife in Southwest. It is in present-day area of Kogi State. And the Ogane had existed hundreds of years, thousands of years before the existence of a word called Ogane. And it has nothing to do with the chief priest of Ile-Ife in present-day Southwest. It has everything to do with the chief priest that perpetrates the Idu shrine in Uhe called Ogane. So this is about it. And I'm sure that from this section we've been able to understand that present-day Southwest Ile-Ife is completely different from the original Uhe, which is now a lost ancient city of the Edo people, where the Edo sons and daughters annually used to pay pilgrimage to. Thank you very much. Waya wese, Oba Atokbeyo, Ise.